I found that helps me a lot with playing scales. They get boring after a while, so you can, like while you're watching TV or something, just like play the notes while you're watching TV, and it builds your muscle memory up so much quicker because you're not looking at it and you know what it's supposed to play like.
Hanging on the wall, hanging, right? I will play the B string and then feel down here, and if it's moving it, if it's actually got a little wiggle to it, you got a live one.
That natural resonance.
Yeah. And I also really believe light guitars sound better and they're more controllable. A lot of people like heavy guitars. I'm the opposite. I think you get more tone with wood when the wood is reacting. So
interesting.
So I make sure these LSL guitars of mine are never more than 7.35 pounds.
I sucked when I started. I sucked. And I don't suck anymore. I mean, I'm really, really thrilled with where I've gotten to as a guitar player, and I'm excited about the next things I'm going to learn. I reject the natural talent. I think most of it is hard work and kind of figuring out what you want to do and breaking that down into the small exercises and things that you need to do to get further. There's YouTube, so I could slow it down to like 0.5, like half speed, and play along. But I would play one measure of the guitar solo over and at half speed until I could get it cleanly. And then it's a piece of cake to just, do it faster. But yeah, it takes a lot of patience.
Literally just put the guitar in your hand and see where it goes, and I'm not even looking. I don't know what notes, I don't know what key, I don't know anything. I'm just like listening. I'm in that state of listening and kind of feeling it. And that's a good thing for me, just because it gets me in the zone. And then eventually I'll run through maybe some things that I know I need to practice. But that kind of gets me in the zone. The hardest thing sometimes for me is just to sit down and, okay, go. And play the song, and you're like, wait a minute, but I didn't get to do all my little noodly stuff, so I do think there is something about like just trying to know what it feels like when you're in that space, and then try to find ways of getting there, instead of being in your head about like, you could just start, playing what you think would be weird, and then till you get it to the point where you realize, oh, if I just change this one note, that'll be cool now.
Music is an art, and in art there's not a better or best, it's just a preference, and it's where we are. We're all painting the same picture using different materials. You have artists and you have musicians, okay? And now they can be interchangeable, they can be both, but people tend to lean more one way or the other. Their songwriting is far outweighed by their playing ability. Their great playing is what people are like, this is why I'm here. Yeah. Then you have other people, who their songwriting is just like, that's why you're going to listen to. There's tons of musicians who can't solo a day in their life, but their songwriting is what gets you there, and that's because of their artistry. It's finding that balance, and every musician that exists, has to find that out for themselves and figure out where on that spectrum they lie.
Here I am, a complete beginner, and then I'm getting lessons like with Steve Vai, and he's showing me how to play For the Love of God, and then he brings his band in, and I'm like, I've never played with a band, and he's like, I've literally been publicly embarrassing myself for the last 2 years, and it has been terrifying, but then at the end of it, it's extremely rewarding, and I think that, if anything, I just hope that I'm not trying to be a guitarist. I'm never going to be a professional guitarist, and I'm okay with that. I just enjoy like strumming and learning and stuff like that. But I hope that if anything, I can inspire